Podcast with Joe Sanchez. Hey, what's going on, gang? Welcome to the Typical Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, Joe Sanchez, and we're going to talk about stuff that we all think about, but we do not like to share with others. Now, we're going to keep it clean so that everybody can enjoy it, so stay tuned and enjoy the show. Good night, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Mom, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How's everyone out there?
It's been a while, Mom, since we've gotten together and done a podcast.
Yes, it has been a while.
How you been? How's life treating you?
It's good after Hurricane Matthew.
Yeah, we just went through Hurricane Matthew, so that's definitely gonna tell you our date. But it went through. Everything was okay. No major problems, no major nothing. So that was awesome. That's a good thing.
Thank the Lord for that.
We stood here and we cooked. We did some good meals. We had a bunch of supplies, and we were ready. Though people went crazy. Though people would, they bought the water, they bought food, they bought all those things. Right?
There was nothing at the stores.
But what had happened was 2004.
Yeah.
We had a few hurricanes, and people weren't taking those serious. So, we have a few more things going on.
This year, people did not play.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
So we have a podcast. We have something interesting, I think. Something that maybe a lot of people, they question. But we have the top Christian questions. Now, we're going to get our information from gotquestions.org. But we're not going to go through all of them. They actually have 20 questions. We're not going to go through all those. We're going to take 3 questions. We're going to take the first question. We're going to take the 4th question. And then we're going to take the 7th question. Now, we're going to give you some of the information that they have there. But we're also going to give you our information, our opinion, our input, right?
Yes.
All right, Mom. So let's start with the first one, okay?
The first one. Woman pastors, preachers. What does the Bible say about women in ministry?
What do you think, first of all, Mom?
What do I think?
What do you think that what do you think that the church should do if a woman wants to become a pastor, wants to become a preacher?
Well, nowadays, first of all, I think it has to be a true, genuine calling from God. Because any woman can come and say, I want to preach. I want to be a preacher,
Well, I think that would qualify with everybody, even men, right? If they want to be pastors or anything like that, they would have to be qualified.
Definitely.
Now, check this out. The gotquestions.org, they say, they have a quote here, and this is from Paul talking to Timothy. It talks in 1 Timothy 2, verses 11 and 12. And it says, a woman should learn in quietness and full submission. I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. She must be silent. Now, what do you think about that, Mom? Now, let me tell you this, though. Last time I did a podcast, I didn't record it or put it on YouTube, but I do have it on the website.
Okay.
And I spoke about this, and I knew that you would have, I knew that you would have strong opinions about it. But you know what it is? First of all, Paul was talking to a specific problem.
Okay.
To a specific church.
Thank you, Jesus.
For a specific, well, I'm not done. Paul was referring to a specific problem. The church that Paul was referring to in 1 Timothy, he was talking to Timothy, and the church was having problems regarding these type of things. Maybe the wife wanted to be above the husband.
As it can happen nowadays.
As it can, definitely. Yeah, but he was talking specific. I don't think, of course, knowing what Paul wrote and knowing how much Paul loved the gospel and loved the Lord, I don't think that he meant that women should not have authority. But there's a few things. First, he was talking to a specific problem.
Okay.
And then second, the way he wrote it, we're not reading what he wrote originally.
Okay.
We're reading a translation. So but the fact is that Paul didn't want women to be the leaders at the church.
Okay, and that's okay.
You know,
As strong as I may have my opinion when it comes to men and women, I still think a man should be the head of the house, should be the head of whatever it is that they're,
I think
leading.
so, and I think it brings an order. Now, Paul and I and you, we're not saying that women are not strong enough to be doing
Right.
these things, or they're not smart enough, or they don't have a spiritual authority. But go ahead.
There's certain roles like you men, you can't carry a child and give
Exactly,
birth.
exactly, yeah.
I believe that God gave certain roles to each.
I agree. I agree. So women, you have your strength, and I think you have some strength that the men cannot do. It's just impossible for men. But
Right.
then men, they have certain strength as well. And women, they can be emotional. Not, of course, not. But then when you're dealing with the church, and you
Right.
have hurting people, and you have families that are hurting, that are going
Yeah.
hungry, there, you have to have a certain strength to deal with these things, to lead them, to pastor them. So I think, of course, a couple, a pastoral couple, it's great.
Right.
But women by themselves, I think it could be a little bit
Yeah.
overwhelming.
I
I
I
think it could be a little bit overwhelming.
I agree. I
And
agree.
then the order, of course, I've read some studies about it, and Paul, he had a strong opinion about it also. He thought that since God, created man first,
Right.
there was an order. So he wanted to follow that order.
But let me tell you something. Not to say that a woman on her own cannot lead a
I
church.
agree.
There can be exceptions out there, and I'm gonna,
I tell you what though, I don't think it's biblical.
well, it may not be biblical, but I think that God would not forsake a woman if she's leading a church on her own. Now, that's my opinion. I
I don't.
think
I mean,
she can be capable.
I don't think God's going to forsake a woman at all. I mean, I
Right.
don't think, but I don't think it's biblical to have the woman as a leader of a church. I just don't think it's biblical. It's not right.
Well, the first church that I went to
Mm-hmm.
was actually led by a woman.
Is it still there?
Yes, actually, it is.
How many members are they doing are they
Well,
doing what they have to
I
do?
know it's still there. It's the church that I have a cousin that goes to that church.
Okay.
But yeah, but she led the church.
Okay. I
That's why I say there can be some
yeah.
exceptions. I mean,
I mean, I tell you, there's a lot of things that a lot of people are doing nowadays that shouldn't be done. Who are we to judge? I'm not judging.
right.
Biblically speaking, it shouldn't be. It's not the order. It's not the right order.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that the man can do it by himself. I don't think he can either. I think the man needs to have that partnership with his wife to run the church, to run the ministry. But I just
Not to say that it hasn't been done either.
that has been done. But biblically speaking, in the way it's given to us in the Bible, I don't think it's right. I don't think it's the right order.
Right. Okay.
It's a
No.
tough
And
question.
yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a tough question, and we can read about it in Corinthians, First and Second Corinthians. Also, Paul wrote it to the Corinthian church, First and Second Timothy. There is information about it.
Yeah.
There's information. All right. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any opinions, of course, let us know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or you can look it up as well.
you can also look it up and just do the research for yourself. You're not, we don't have to believe what people tell us.
Right.
We can grab the information, we can do our research, and based on our research, we can, get to our own conclusions.
Yeah, and let us know what you think about this. It's an interesting subject. If you do your research and you have a different, let us know. Put it in comments and let us know what you think.
Yeah, you can comment on either YouTube or you can comment on the Facebook page. Okay, so let's see. What's the next question?
The next question was number 4, right?
Yes.
Once saved, always saved? Is it eternal security biblical? Can a Christian lose salvation?
Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to say about that is if a person accepts Christ as their Savior, now if they do it authentically, if they do it in a serious, in a truthful manner, no, I don't think they can lose salvation.
Yeah.
I don't think anything you do after that can allow you to lose salvation. Now, this is what happens, right? You accept Christ, you're a changed person.
Yeah.
You're not the same person. You're
Definitely.
not gonna live the same way you were living before Him. You're not gonna do the same things you were doing. So by accepting Christ, there's a lot of things that happen. Along with those things, you change.
Right.
Right,
Right.
so your behavior changes, the way you help others changes,
Yeah.
and that's why. But now, if a lot of people, because of peer pressure or things like that, they'll say, "Yes, I accept Christ," and they'll do everything. But it was from the mouth
Right. It
out.
wasn't
It
genuinely.
wasn't genuine. It wasn't authentic. So, of course, it's a very thin line to say. It's impossible to say who goes to heaven or not.
Right.
But also our lives is a testimony, right? So the
Yes.
way we live our lives, the way we do things we do, will speak to others about our relationship with Christ, our relationship with God. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think uh your the way you act, the way you express yourself, the way you conduct yourself is testimony alone into which you if you have accepted Christ genuinely. You could say I accepted Christ and then, keep partying and keep
Yeah,
the gossiping and
yeah.
people are going to say, "Did she really
Did
accept?"
she really? Yeah,
Yeah.
your behavior, your lifestyle will talk to others about what you do. But check this out, John 10. Verse 28 and verse 29, it says, I gave them, and this is Jesus Christ, I gave them eternal life, and they shall never perish. No one can snatch them out of my hand. My Father, who has given them to me, is greater than all, and no one can snatch them out of my Father's hand. So
Amen.
I've it's a question that I've heard it before. It's not just now that's coming up. It's a question that I've heard it before, and a lot of people will say, "Oh, what if you kill? Or what if you steal? What if you lie?"
That's not giving testimony.
The
That,
first thing is,
yeah.
if you genuinely accept the Christ,
You're not
you're
gonna
gonna
kill.
change.
Yeah, you're
You're
not
gonna
gonna kill.
Now you're gonna sin. We sin. It's we're not perfect people, but we don't live in sin.
Right.
We sin because of our nature. It's our nature, but we're not sinful people, or we're not practicing sinful people. We don't practice it. We have a sinful nature, so we will lie. Or like, oh Lord, I lied. I'm sorry. Let me get back on track. But you're
Yeah.
not gonna go out there and kill people. Not if you accept the Christ.
Right.
Not genuinely.
Genuinely. Yeah.
You
I
know.
agree.
So once saved, always saved. Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I accepted Christ, and I did it, and I wholeheartedly. I will work for Him. I will do whatever I have to do, and I will be saved.
But again, the important thing is to do it genuinely.
People that did it genuinely.
Yeah.
People that
Do
did
it
it
genuinely.
truthfully.
Because then,
Not to put up a
they're going to
show.
listen. Anyone can listen to, oh, you know what? I accepted Christ. So, yeah, no. Genuinely.
Well, people can say whatever they want. God knows, and at the end of the day, you also know if you did it genuinely or not. If you have a double
Yeah.
life, if you're leading a double life, you
Yeah.
already know, and that's between you and God, and your
Yeah.
lifestyle. I believe, and this is probably getting off a little bit off subject, but I believe that a Christian leads a good life, not a luxurious life, but a Christian that is always going through trials and problems and situations and financial problems and this and that. It's a Christian that probably needs to go back to the source, needs to go back to God. I'm not saying they didn't accept God or Jesus authentically, but they probably have gone a little bit astray, because the life that you live with Christ is a blessed life. Now, it's not abundant. It's not abundant blessing. And there's, of course, people will say, what about Job? Well, yeah, Job suffered, but then what happened after he was done with the suffering? He was blessed. Yeah, go ahead. What do you
Yeah,
have?
but that's a little touchy because, I mean, you can't go around thinking that because they're not, they're going through all these kinds of situation, it's because they're not, you know what
I'm not talking about saved. I'm talking about a relationship with Christ. Here, think about this. You have a Christian that's working for the church. He's doing all these things, and not once in a while, but all the time. He's always down. he's always going through trials. He's always suffering. He's always short on money. He's always short on food. He's always short on.
Yeah,
There's
that's
something. There's
yeah.
something. There's suffering in our lives for Christ, but I don't think he's eternal suffering. I don't think you suffer throughout your whole life. There's trials, and you go through
So
trials.
what exactly are you saying? If they're always helping the church, but yet they're always down and they're always going through
No,
situations,
well,
what?
I'm saying the testimony. First, I'm saying once saved, always saved. Yes, the
Right,
person that does it
right. We
authentically. That's
established
out of
that.
that's out of here. That's already settled, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about a Christian that does not have a good relationship with God on a daily basis. You will tell. You will know
Because of all the trials he's going
because
through?
of the testimony that he's given. Yes.
Really?
Because of
No,
the testimony that his lifestyle is given. Maybe I'm not
I
explaining it
disagree a
well.
little. Um, maybe it's not even you. Maybe it's the people surrounding you. You
Now,
know,
well, okay, but I'm not saying
because I've
that's an
known good
always.
Christians, good, dedicated, focused Christians,
Yeah,
that Jesus, they
they're always.
they don't seem to be able to get out of
Yeah,
those.
okay, but where's the blessing? Where's God's blessing? Now, I'm not talking about abundant but luxurious blessing, but where's the blessing? Even their personality. Are they happy? Are they or are they always excited and motivating you?
I've seen them.
Okay, well let's
And you know what I think?
what?
It could be their surrounding, the people that surrounds them, that doesn't.
Yeah, but think about this though. If they have a good personality and they're happy about things, it doesn't matter what trials they're going through. That's part of the blessing. So that's not the type of Christian that I'm talking about. I'm talking to the type of Christian that it's always mopey, that it's always sad, and I'm going through this, I'm going through that, that type of thing.
Okay.
So
Well, yeah, that's different.
well, you know
Because
what?
I've known happy Christians that they're always going through trials,
Well, yeah.
financial situations, and they're good, happy, dedicated, focused Christians.
Okay, but then you have the people that say that they serve the Lord, they're Christians, but they're always sad. They're going through trials, through problems. I would say that their relationship with God it's questionable, but that's as much as I'll say. I'm not saying whether they're going to be saved or not. I'm just saying it's questionable the relationship they have with the abundant, giving Lord God.
Yeah.
You guys, you can type your questions or you can type your comments on Facebook or
Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting subject.
It is. It is, and gotta be a little, yeah, because it's very touchy.
Well, remember, it's a typical thought.
Because there's a lot of Christians out there that's gonna say, "Wait a minute."
There's a
but
lot of questions, yeah.
Christians out there
With the
that may
questions,
listen
yeah.
to this and say, "Whoa, wait a minute, you're going too far." Yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to offend anybody. Yeah, and I'm not trying to.
No, but if it's a touchy person, like I could be at times, yeah, they're gonna say, "But wait a minute, I'm focused, I'm good." But sometimes I feel down. It could be something up here. It's not. Maybe it doesn't have to be with the relationship between me and God. It's.
Okay, I mean, yeah, all right.
I don't know.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely an
Yeah.
interesting.
But again, if you have something different to say, or if you identify yourself with this situation, let us know. Comment.
maybe we can do a whole episode on that topic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe we can invite somebody to talk to us about that, and somebody that
Yeah.
knows and somebody has more info.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so let's see. We're gonna do one more question. What's the question? What
The
question you want to do?
question is let me take a look here.
We were gonna do about
The
Cain.
7.
Yeah.
Who is Cain's wife?
Who was Cain's wife? All right. What do you know about Cain, Mom?
Wasn't he the one that killed his brother?
Yes. Abel.
Yes.
Yes.
His
Cain.
brother.
Cain and Abel. All right.
Yeah. And God told him something. Because you killed your brother, you're not gonna be, without a house, home. Something like that, yeah. That I think he was the first homeless person in the world. I
Mom,
think.
Can you look up Genesis
Genesis.
5, chapter 5, verse 4?
Okay.
Here's the thing. Here's where I stand on this.
Oh boy, be ready, guys.
Here's where I stand on this. So you have Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve,
They
yes.
lived a unknown amount of time, unknown number of years in perfection
Okay.
in the Garden of Eden.
Okay.
Right? That we don't know
Yes.
how long they lived there. It could have been millions of years because they had no time. There were perfect creatures living in a perfect world, the
Okay.
world that God created for them, and they could have lived there for millions of years. And even before they sinned, God told them procreate, fill the earth.
Right.
Right? So it's probably true to say that they already had children when they sinned, right? So there was probably more
Right.
more people than
Right.
them,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Right.
So then they sin, and then they have Adam and Eve. I mean, Cain and Abel, right?
Right.
All right. So God asked both Cain and Abel for an offering, and then you know the story. If not, you can read it. Genesis 4th and chapter 4 and chapter 5. But then Cain kills Abel, his brother, right?
Right.
All right, so then he's destitute, and God said he's going to be a vagabond around the earth or whatever, and then he goes off. He has a family. All right, but what happened? People say, what happened if it was just Cain and Abel? Well, it wasn't just Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
You know, the
Right.
Bible doesn't mention any more people, but there was more people.
Right.
We don't know how long Adam and
Yeah.
Eve were procreating, and then
Right.
so Cain and Abel, they were the first mentioned after the fall, after they sinned.
Right.
What does chapter 5 Genesis 5:4 say?
5:4. It said, "Oh,
Genesis 5:4. Yeah,
yeah.
you
I
have it.
have it in Spanish."
No, no. Well, you can
Hold on.
you can go on top and you can change
Yeah.
the version
Oh, I
to
can?
English. Yeah, you
Okay.
can. Go on top. Oh, you know what? I could probably look it up here.
I was all ready and it was in Spanish.
Yeah. So I mean,
Okay.
you have it.
Genesis 5:4.
Do you have it
Yeah.
in
I mean, I
English?
have it here in the questions and not the Bible per se.
What does it say?
It says, the fact that Cain.
Yeah. See, that's not the verse.
Okay. The fact that Cain was scared from his own life after he killed Abel. No.
No, that's not. I have it.
Yeah.
All right. So Genesis 5:4 says, after Seth was born, Adam lived 800 years, and then he had the other sons and daughters. No, but that's not good because that's after they sinned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't help us. Let's see, 4:8. Let's try 4:8. Genesis 4:8. If you guys have it over there, you can look it up. And if when you listen to this, you have any more input, you can definitely talk to us, send us some more info. But let's see. 4:8. All right. Now Cain said to his brother, let's go out to the field. While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. No, that doesn't help us either.
Yeah, that's not what we
Yeah,
were.
I'll probably by the time I post this, I'll look up the verse that makes reference to God or Adam and Eve either procreating or having more people on Earth. But I'll go ahead and post it here. So, what do you think, Mom? Do you have any other opinion about Cain? Do you know anything?
Yeah, it says, and the days of Adam after he had begun. Okay, yeah, that was exactly what you read, right? That's not good either. Okay.
Yeah, because what it does there, it talks about Adam after sin.
After the sin.
Because this is the thing, and I'll say it again. We don't know how long he lived
Yeah.
in perfection. We don't know how long he lived in the garden. It could have been millions of years. So we just don't know. We don't have that information. But we do know that they were commanded to procreate. They were commanded to fill the earth
before they
sinned.
Mm-hmm.
So the common sense, if you read this, is going to tell you, well, there was probably more people. A lot of people, the question they have is, if it was just Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, how did Cain left? Because he was destitute. God told him he was going to be a vagabond. If he left, how did he get married? How did he create a family? If there was just the four of them, it was not just the
Yeah.
four of them.
Yeah, logic tells you there had to be
They
more
had to.
people.
There was
were-
more people.
Yeah, there
It
was.
was just a
'cause
story.
He found a woman to be with.
Remember, Moses wrote this. He received this from the Holy Spirit.
Right.
He was not going to receive the names of everybody, that all the people that were there. He was just giving specific stories, so he would relate to them, study them, and learn from them.
Right. Right.
You know, so he was not just going to get everything and then write
And
it.
detailed. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to use another question, Mom? Do you want to go ahead and do you
yeah,
have
let
any
me-
more questions
let me
quickly?
Take a look. Yeah.
Or do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he said you're gonna be like quote unquote homeless so that people can
Hmm.
understand. But maybe it wasn't necessarily homeless. Maybe what he meant was it wasn't a stable home. You know, it's like he was gonna have a little place here, but like a gypsy kind of thing. Does that make sense?
That's true. That's what I think also.
Yeah, it doesn't mean like he didn't have a roof per se. It just could be that you're not gonna have a stable home, you know, because of what you've done.
What happens?
Like a
What
land to call your own kind of thing.
Cain killed Abel,
Right.
right? So he was the first murderer of the history of. All right. So what happens when you're traveling? Let's say you're on business. You're going to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
What happens after a week?
You want to be
You
home.
ready to go
Yeah,
home?
you want to go
You're ready
home.
to go home.
And maybe that's what he meant by
What
that, you
happens
know?
when you visit somebody? Let's say Saturday morning by 6, 7 o'clock at night. You want to go home.
Yeah, you want to be in your
Not
place.
having a home to call yourself, to call your own, not having a home is probably the worst thing that can happen to you.
Yeah.
What happened to people when they're on jail, incarcerated?
Yeah.
It's not their home. It's
It's
not.
not
So
their
that's
home.
that's the thing, psychological thing. So God was telling him, you did this atrocious thing, this horrible thing. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna do. I'm just not gonna give you a home. I'm not gonna have
What a
you.
harsh.
Yeah, and even Cain says, "Oh, this is too much." Imagine how bad it must have been having no
Knowing
land,
that you
having no
have no
home.
home.
Right?
Yeah.
God said, I'm," and then Cain said, "Oh, for sure somebody's gonna kill me." God said, "No, no, no. You don't understand. I'm not gonna allow anybody to kill you.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna kill you. You're
This
gonna
is how
live
you're
this
going to
out."
pay.
So God knew and God still knows that home is a vital thing for our survival, for our
Yeah.
existence. You have to have a
Yeah.
home. So he told Cain, "No, you're not gonna have a home. That's where you are. That's where you're gonna be, homeless, a vagabond,
Terrible. Terrible. Yeah, because you could have a house but still not
not have a home,
feel,
right?"
yeah, not feel it's your home.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the key point. God knows how many properties he had, but then he didn't feel at home.
Oh man, we can talk.
Yeah.
We can have a full class talking about Cain and his descendants and the Arabs and all these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just don't have enough time. Mom, do you have any last thoughts?
No, man, I wish everybody that went through the Hurricane Matthew that finds himself to be okay. God bless everybody. Remember, love each other. Doesn't matter how you disagree, but just love each other.
Everybody, thank you for listening. Again, I'm Joe, your host. My mom, Pily, with you guys. Just thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being around. Like Mom said, just have a blessed evening, a blessed day, a blessed week, and stay tuned to see what's going to be our next subject, okay? God bless.
God
Bye-bye.
bless everybody.